Everybody, welcome to the On Fire Show. This is the host, Daryl Brooks, with my other two great co-hosts. Yes, Rebecca. Are you there, Rebecca Boy?
I am here. So excited to be here.
And Chris Cloud. Hey, Chris. Wow, man. How you doing?
It's a long time making. Glad to be here.
Thank you all for watching and supporting.
I am just a big patriot and lover of freedom. And
I'm coming to you guys from what I call the front line of the heartland.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back. This is the On Fire Show. We have myself, Daryl Brooks, Rebecca Boyd, and Chris Cloud. How y'all doing today?
good. How
Doing
about
good?
you, Daryl?
Oh, I am doing just great, and I'm excited. I always get excited to do these shows and talk about some of the issues. And we have some great guests coming up. And we have Annette, Elliot of the Nation's Gun Show, and you're taking lead in that interview. I'm excited. Then we got Ron Wilcox coming up on the second half. We're going to be talking about Kari Lake, Arizona, Chris. Yeah. So how was your week, Chris? How was your week?
My week was good. I worked an awful lot because it's so cold. I had a lot of. It was a very busy week. I'm really tired. I'm glad to be off today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Oh, awesome. Deb told me that the power went out a few times.
Once or
when it
twice,
got really
a little bit, but we got that covered, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I was like, where are you? And up here, in the Philadelphia area, it snowed. It was cold for a few days. Now the weather is so beautiful. It gets what? It's like 40 degrees.
It's gonna be 70 tomorrow. It's crazy.
So,
I'm really glad to be. Oh yeah, we're over the snow. It stayed around for way too long, and it froze, and I was over it. So I'm glad to see the end of it today.
And how about you, Rebecca? How was the weather up there where you're at?
It's a little colder than by you, but snow's melted finally. So it warmed up nice today. Did some horse riding in between work. So it was nice.
I loved your pictures on Facebook, when the snow was just coming down and you're on the horse, and it just it's like one of those Christmas videos.
Yep,
photos,
if it's snowing, I'm out riding usually.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we got Annette Elliot from the Nation's Gun Show. She's the owner. She's been on the show, I think about 6-7 months ago. I had her on, and she's going to talk about, the Nation's Gun Show and registering people to vote, which is so important. To me, she's probably one of the most powerful advocates, especially for guns, especially in Virginia and the whole Northeast, Southeast too. And she's coming over on the show and talk about gun rights and gun issues and registering people to vote and the Nation's Gun Show. Annette, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Annette.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Hi, Annette.
Can you hear me now?
Glad to have you on.
Yes. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, so happy to finally have you on the show when I'm here at the same time. I can't wait to come to the gun show. I've heard so many good things about it.
It is a great show. Where do you live? Where are you from?
I'm in Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's not too far then. It's probably like 5 hours for you.
Yeah.
And we have Pittsburgh. We have Pittsburgh 2 weekends. February 10 and 11 is the Pittsburgh Gun Show. So we're closer to you there at the Monroeville Convention Center.
Nice. I'll have to make that one. Yeah,
that's a 650 table show. It's a really nice show. It's a very old show too. It's been there a long time. Pennsylvania Gun Collectors Association had it there before, and then we took over it later. So, but we've been there at least a decade now.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I'm excited for that. So could you tell our viewers how you got started in the gun show business?
Well, my parents started the shows over 50 years ago, about 52 years ago, 1971. We say the August Roanoke show that was at the Roanoke Civic Center was that's the one we say is our first one. We did have a few before that at National Guard Armory in Roanoke. So 52 years ago, and they put me at the front door taking tickets and stamping hands at 7 years old, which is pretty funny. You know, it was a different day and age then.
Yeah.
And the shows certainly have changed. People really don't realize, you know, how the gun laws have changed over time. You know, when we started, the FFLs were not allowed to set up off site. So everybody was a private dealer. So we go from, you know, just collectors, and they were my father's friends. He went to a military academy and graduated Hargrave Military Academy, graduated second in his class at 16 years old. So he was really into it, right? He liked playing with the guns. He had a bunch of friends. So they rented out the Roanoke Civic Center. It was the very first event in the exhibit hall, and they rented that out. And, you know, everybody shows up, and it really was different then. I mean, it was $15 a table, you know, $2 or $3 to get in. Just everything is different now. And, you know, it's like $25 for a 3-day pass at the big show at the Dulles Expo Center next weekend. Yeah. So, but the way the laws changed is pretty interesting. People don't know. They keep moving. It's a moving target, right? So we went from an FFL could not set up. They were not allowed to set up to actually, you know, then allowing them to go off site. That's how that worked. They weren't allowed to go off of their premises. Then they allowed them to come, and then they went from, you know, then they wanted everybody that was at the shows to get their FFL. Well, we ended up at over 280,000 federal firearms licensees across the nation. And then they're like, okay, you don't have to have an FFL to set up at the show. You know, you're just a kitchen table dealer. You're only selling to your friends, you know, 10 guns or something a year. You don't have to have one. And then they changed it again and said, well, you know, no, we don't want you to come if you don't have your FFL. So people really don't realize it's just been changing over time so much. And it's so heavily regulated. But you know.
So what would you say is the biggest problem with regulation that you see right now?
Well, probably ATF just being able to make rulings without Congress's permission. That's not really how that's supposed to go. They've got one line in the code in the Gun Control Act that allows them to do that, you know, to make rulings to enforce the law. But it's gone a lot further than that, where now they're making rulings that are actually law is what's happening. So they do need to change that. They need to have some congressional oversight there, because we've seen this last year when you have, you know, an anti-gun group come in and take over, then they just start, and they don't know much about guns. So then they just start making all these.
Funny how that works.
That doesn't work out well if they don't understand the industry and they don't understand firearms to start making regulations. And then they won't hold muster, and everybody's running around trying to follow them, because no law-abiding citizen wants to get caught in this dragnet of you know, new laws, you know, like the short barrel rifle thing. There's just so much of that right now, and really people don't know what to do. So I think
a lot of people don't. They don't even know that they keep making and trying to enforce new gun laws, because a lot of people, when I talk to them, they say no one's trying to take your gun rights away, and it's like, but they are, you know, inch by inch, and they just keep trying to pick away at it.
Right. So, it's death by 1,000 cuts. That's what it is. And they can't, they know, you know, it's really interesting too, because 70% of Democrats are in favor of gun ownership, support the Second Amendment, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's why you hear Democrat politicians coming out and saying, you know, I'm supportive of the Second Amendment, I believe in it, and all this stuff. And as soon as he walks out of there, if he's a Democrat, I mean, I've not seen in 30 years, we give away tables to the politicians to come and stump and talk about their positions. Let the public come in and talk to them, and, you know, find out really what their positions are. And then the big thing is, though, they tell them this stuff, and then they literally walk away saying they're pro Second Amendment, and 30 days later, you see them standing in front of the Million Mom March, you know.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's
Right.
what happened to me with two. I have had so few Democrats come in 30 years, and we were giving tables away to whoever wanted to come and talk.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
been 3, I think, over 30 years, Democrats, and the rest were Republicans. And
Wow.
there's your answer right there. They really don't believe in the right, and
Yeah.
they all know too that Democrats and the American public in general believes in gun ownership and the right to protect yourself, your family, and your property. So
Right.
they know this, and they don't want to let on to their public. But the truth
Mhm.
is, they also know that the only way that these little, like to take away our AR-15s, that's not going to do
Mhm.
anything. It didn't do anything last time. So they
Exactly.
know that, but they have to work
Mhm.
piece by piece because they know in the end they've got to take them all or it doesn't do any good. And they
Right.
and so and they'll never come
And
out
we've
and
seen
say
that in
that.
other countries too, where they start off saying, we're going to ban semi-auto like AR-15s, and now like Canada, you can't even buy a handgun.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Canada, it's almost, it really is, and you're seeing that here, where you're not supposed to defend yourself.
Mm.
Mhm.
Well, basic animals have that right. We have that right. It's not given by
Right.
our government. It's
That,
innate, and
that's right.
they should not be trying to take that one away. So Canada's been that way for a long time, and now they're just, now they're trying to get rid of the last little bit of guns they've got. But
Yeah. I hear a lot of the Democrat candidates speaking. I think they try to appease to gun ownership just as a means for hunting. I hear a lot of them say that people need guns and they have their rights to hunting, but the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. So their excuse for wanting to remove the AR-15s because they say that's not a hunting rifle is just really baloney. There's really no difference from a lot of semi-automatic rifles that they would consider an assault weapon to what you use for hunting.
right, right, and a lot of people do use AR-15s or that platform,
Yeah.
the AR platform for hunting, because it's a nice
Right.
platform. You can start out inexpensive, or you can
Yep.
you could start out inexpensive and then trick it out over time, and
Yep.
change calibers, all kinds of things. So it's a really great platform, and it is
Mhm.
good for self-defense too. And they claim
Right.
that also, that it's not good for self-defense. We have plenty of cases where it's proven that it is. So again,
Right.
it's
And
not,
AR-15s are becoming one of the most popular rifles for self-defense amongst women. So it's like they're going after what is the most popular. So
Yeah.
yep, and they're not supposed to do that either.
right. Right.
Annette, this is Daryl. Question. What's been told in the inner city, they told a lot of people in the city, you don't need a gun to protect yourself. This was in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. You don't need a gun to protect yourself. The cops will be there. This has been told in the inner cities like Trenton, Camden, Philadelphia, Baltimore. Wait on the police department. The cops they're on their way. And so that was told in the city and told people, said, turn your guns in. You'll get a $50 gift card, a $100 card from Walmart to turn your ammo and your guns in. Now, as I've seen at these gun shows, I've seen at your gun shows and the other one, especially the one in Chantilly, I see people from Baltimore, inner city areas, people all the way coming out from Philadelphia and New Jersey are coming to buy guns, protect themselves because of the crimes that is happening in their community. They said, we don't have that much time. We can't wait for the police. Somebody could break in my house, attack myself, my family, steal my property. So the whole notion of waiting for the police to come,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, and it's never been true. And right now that they've, defunded the police, that's a whole nother conversation. But not only are they defunding the police, but they, and that is a real thing. Like I have a show in Pittsburgh in a couple weeks. Like I said, we had 900 law enforcement there, and they literally cut their budget so as not to pay the salary of 300 out of 900. So they're down to 600. So you're going to have less law enforcement on the streets to begin with, but it never was a case where they could be everywhere all the time. It's just impossible. They're not psychics, and we can't see in the future. They can't beam in, and these things go down so fast. Like if you've ever been in, a situation where somebody's about to commit a crime, it is amazingly fast. I mean, you better have good reaction time. You better be self-aware, and you better got some training. It's because even if you're a really good shot, your adrenaline's going to kick in. You're all excited. I've done a kill box, that's great. If anybody has not done that one, that's so much fun. And the truth is, it's a really good shot, but and it's fake. We were using simunition, which is a little cartridge with a soap cap on the top. So it'll make a little red mark, but it's not going to hurt you. But here we are running around it, and I'm getting all worked up, knowing it's just a game and we're just having fun. But you really do need to get some training, and you need to know how, if your gun jams, how to unjam it quick. You just really need to be, where is the safety, and very familiar with that firearm. And and the idea that the police can protect you, nobody should blame the police at all. They cannot get there that fast. There's just no way. And they usually just record the crime. So they show up, they draw a chalk line, take a sperm sample, and they're gone. So, and it really is something that everyone, it's just like I tell people too, it's like knowing how to change a tire, knowing where the tire is it in good shape? Do you know where the jack is? Well, is the jack, like an Excursion? They're old now, but they don't put a jack in there that you can jack your car up with. You've got to have a different jack. You really do need to know where all this stuff is. So it's just about awareness and being prepared.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah. Ms. Elliot, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Look forward to meeting you in person. We're not far away. We're quite close.
Oh, yeah?
Couple of points that I wanted to touch on. People, there was an equivalency that I came up with a while back, and about people that try to legislate firearms that don't know anything about firearms, and the similarity that I drew was, we hear so many times the conservatives, they're filing a lawsuit against Dominion because their voting machines had modems in them. And the powers that be look at something like an argument like that, and they just go like this, oh my God. Because Dominion doesn't make voting machines. They make a program. They don't make any voting machines. They don't have modems in them. They have connectability. The phraseology, the terminology that's used in a lawsuit like that, they get tossed out of court prima facie because it's the wrong terminology. And it's the same thing that we hear when we cringe at these politicians that know nothing about guns trying to spout off about magazines or calibers or cartridges and these things, these terminologies that they have no idea about. And I make that equivalency to people. We do the same thing. Conservatives do something very similar when we mouth off about something we don't really know the terminology behind, and we just end up sounding stupid. So It's very important to know your product, and that's like you said about knowing your gun and knowing how it operates. And you need to have muscle memory and operate on autopilot when a situation arises. I think it's crucial. Any politician that ever talks about, Rebecca, you touched on this about hunting. Anybody that ever refers to the Second Amendment in terms of hunting or self-protection, or hunting or target practice or sporting clays or something like that. The Second Amendment has to do with putting bullets into tyrants.
That's right.
It does not have anything to do with hunting clay or hunting deer or target practice or sport shooting. It has to do with shooting home intruders. It has to do with overthrowing a tyrant. And we need to out of that.
It's true. The Second Amendment protects all the others. It's why it's there.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely, and that's its purpose. Ms. Elliott, I'm curious. I would love to find out your insight on your industry. You've been in this for 50 plus years. We all talk about what's going on right now because it's relevant and it's topical. But in the course of your history with gun shows, what have been the existential threats that you faced? Legislative and the selective enforcement of laws and laws like that. What times stick out in your mind about, in 1998, there was something or other that really threatened our whole industry, or, people don't know about it. Enlighten me in threats.
Before you answer that, we got to take a station break right quick. This is the On Fire Show, and we'll be back with Annette Elliot of the Nation's Gun Show. We'll be right back. This is the On Fire Show.
The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables, over 2 miles of guns, knives, and accessories. Everything you need for the shooting sports and self-defense. Meet Crispy Avila at the EC Defense booth. Concealed handgun classes. The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Advanced tickets, coupons, and more info at thenationsgunshow.com. That's thenationsgunshow.com.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
All right, we're back. It's Elliot. Go for it.
There. All right. Well, let's see. Some of the threats. Mostly it is politicians. What do they say? Rust and politicians are the gun's two biggest enemy. And the truth is, it is the politicians. And that gets back to what's going on in this country right now with our elections. And I am one of those people that will flat out say that I do believe that last election was stolen, and I won.
Yes.
Agree.
I actually was, a college Republican president, 40 years ago at University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. I was sent out to do absentee ballots, and I witnessed it myself. And what's really interesting is even back then, the GOP was behind the ball. They were not quick enough, not responsive enough to them actually doing this stuff. They told us when they filled out an incorrect ballot just to tear it up. Well, guess what? They had the list. We had plenty of absentee ballots. They just went and they filled it out afterwards. What I did was absolutely pointless at that point. And we always seem to be a few steps behind. So as far as what I think the biggest threat is politicians, and to all our freedoms. I am really not about guns. I'm about freedom. That's what I believe in. I believe in this country and our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, and those things are what protect us from all the other stuff that happens. So if we stick to that, just like the Second Amendment, those folks were geniuses. Our founding fathers were geniuses when they wrote that. Just even about the Second Amendment and saying to keep and bear arms, because they keep on telling you you can't carry guns in this place and that place and all that, to the point is that you cannot protect yourself. And quite frankly, if they take your firearm away, if they disarm you and make it so that you can't carry your gun wherever, they ought to provide armed security and a metal detector to keep the people out of it. If that's the way we're going to do it, either you've got armed security and or a metal detector. So just because you don't know what to the people that when they put in these gun-free zones, to a law-abiding citizen, he doesn't want to get in trouble, so he's not going to do it. So now he's disarmed and he can't protect himself or the other people in the group. And to people that are mentally ill or just evil, to them it just looks like an easy target. So
if I'm there, it's not a gun-free zone.
Is it a way to say that again?
If I'm there, it is not a gun-free zone.
Well, and I think something people should know too is, they tell, like they'll hang a sign, a private business will hang a sign that says you can't carry your firearm in. The truth is you can still, just keep it concealed. I'm not trying to tell you to break the law, but the truth is, if for some reason somebody finds out you have it on you and the restaurant or whatever it is asks you to leave, that's what you do. You just say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm leaving now. I'm taking my firearm and I'm leaving, because they have
my
to
money.
right. And because they have to charge you with trespassing and then come back and arrest you for that. So I just want people to be protected and be safe. And
and statistically, going by the FBI statistics, guns are used much more to prevent crime than they are to cause crime. So it's overwhelmingly different. It prevents so much more crime. Oftentimes people don't even have to fire their firearm in order to prevent a crime. Just having it as a visual and someone knowing that it's there is enough to deter someone from going any further and doing harm. So
that's absolutely right.
Yeah, there were many reports I spent in Philadelphia where a guy jumped in the house, somebody's window, and the old lady, I guess she had to be in her 60s, and she started blasting, and he jumped back out the window. It's been these type incidents where things like that have happened, where people had to protect themselves. And because they were afraid, and if you're in your 60s and that someone knows that you're in the 60s, so an easy opportunity to rob them, you go and in your house and she comes out with the shotgun, it's just so
the great equalizer, between women and men. It really
and
is.
Many of these are not recorded at all. John Lott did that study. Well, it was Clock and somebody else did this study, and they came up with a couple million defensive gun uses a year. And then the federal government comes back and I think it was under Clinton and Janet Reno at the time, trying to disprove it, and it comes back with 4 million. It came back at 4.3 million. And they were really trying to prove that it wasn't true. But most of the time, it's kind of a non-event, because, the person has jumped out the window, or you pulled out the gun, and now they've jumped out. You had a mask on. You can't identify them. You didn't see the car or anything else. What are you going to report? You call the cops, and they're like, well, what am I? There's nothing to really record except that somebody lived and some horrible crime didn't happen. So, that's absolutely true. And we know when concealed carry permits go up, there's less crime. We're absolutely on the right side with this one. The truth is, I think when they are trying to disarm you, and I do believe when they do registrations, like what is going on in the state of Virginia right now, where every private sale goes on record, that is basically registration. And the very next step is confiscation. And we've seen it over and over in history. So they can say whatever they want to say, but why are you registering law-abiding citizens purchasing firearms? At the same time, you're releasing criminals. We had 4 cities that had bad prosecutors: Alexandria, Prince William, Fairfax, and Loudoun. We got rid of the one in Loudoun, but we still have 3. And
He's the Brood of Iberized out, but we still got Toscano, and we got the one in Alexandria as well.
Right. And I mean, and they're not letting out like little teeny nothing crimes. These
Well,
are
the funny thing is what they're doing. It's strategic. You culturally emasculate your male population, and then you import super predators. You emasculate your male population. You remove and you vilify your ability to protect yourself. You defund the law enforcement, and then you import super predators, not just from South and Latin America, but from Africa and Asia as well.
Mhm.
And we are on the precipice of interesting times.
interesting times. We're getting a real upgrade on our gangs. In
Oh, the
Yuma,
cartels are made. You know that we're going to touch on the Kari Lake issue in the next episode. But you know, one thing that really chilled me was when the Republican chair there was telling her, "You got to understand, Kari, the cartels are active in every single state." And I maintain they are an existential threat that we are not giving enough credence to, just like Antifa.
yeah,
We have underestimated that organization to our great peril, and I maintain that the cartels are wealthier than the House of Saud right now,
they
and
may,
it's
they may
more money than look. Humans are worth more money than oil, and they're making it, and they are ruthless.
Yes,
All right.
they are.
So you know, one of the things, you know, on a little lighter note about we get kind of dark there. But on a lighter note about the gun show, you know, it's you know, I tell people in Philadelphia, I got friends in Virginia, I got friends in Maryland, go to the Chantilly gun show. It is a great culture. You know, I was always told, oh my God, Daryl, aren't you afraid of all those white people with guns? You know?
That's pretty good. I like that.
Are they going to shoot you? Aren't you the only black guy there? I said, what are you talking about? And then that's because the people are ignorant of the gun shows. You know, when I'm at the gun shows with the book Welcome to America in 37 Days, you know, I see more, actually minorities are coming in more than ever before. And they're not coming in just from Virginia. They're coming in from Maryland. You know, they're coming in from North Carolina. I saw one young lady and I guess her boyfriend and husband. They came all the way. She was from Trenton, New Jersey,
Nice.
my home city. She came all the way from Trenton, New Jersey, to come to the gun show in Chantilly.
Right.
So,
well, it is a great show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show. I mean, you know, what other thing? You know, you have the T-shirts, you got the peanuts, you got you got all the great guns. What else do you have at these gun shows?
Well, we've got 53 FFLs on average at every show. So now you're comparing every kind of firearm you can imagine. Handguns, long guns, rifles, target shooting guns, class 2 guns, and you have all the FFLs. So that's nice because you can come check the firearm, feel the weight, feel the grip, work the action, feel the trigger pull, those kind of things. And, see the size. Is this actually something I want to put in my purse? Is this going to be too big? And so you get to check out the weapons, compare the prices, find a good dealer. You can buy it right there. The background checks are instant. Then you can also go get your holster. So, and there are no such things as holster shops, and some of the gun shops will have a few holsters, but they're not going to have a huge wide variety like we do. So we have people that have leather, which is nicer against your skin if you're going to put it inside of your pants against your skin. Then they have Kydex, like law enforcement and military like to carry. Then they have the nylon, and then they have hybrids of both, the 3 different types you can get. Then you have ammo, every kind of ammo you could possibly want, target ammo, you've got, and defensive ammo. Then you have the safes, you have the training. So we have concealed carry classes, and then there's classes about, how to feed and care for your AR-15. There's just all kinds of
T-shirts, hats.
Great.
Yeah.
Books. You have authors there. You have books.
Yeah.
Yep,
we have books,
America.
we have authors there, and lots of experts. I mean, there's, these guys, a lot of them are military and law enforcement, previous or present, but they have a unique set of skills, and they really can teach you a lot. You can ask all kinds of questions. There's just you can go from being a novice to an expert, and there's something there for everyone because you can learn long distance shooting. There's just all kinds of great stuff. And all those people in one room together, and then you have the optics and you have night vision, you have thermal. There's thermals the size that can fit on your handgun now, just like everybody else with all this great technology. We have it too. We have all kinds of advances all the time. And you know what? If you're out living, in the boonies somewhere and there's something around in the woods, you want to know, if you want to know
Rebecca?
a four-legged deer or a two-legged deer, what is in my woods. And I bet when she goes horseback riding, you just carry your firearm on you.
Oh yeah.
I don't go walking around on my mountain without my gun because we've got mountain lions and bears and coyotes, and I'm not walking around without my gun.
That's right. Better be prepared.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to go into a quick station break. I think we might have Ron Wilcox on, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the Kari Lake. That's exciting in the news. We'll be right back.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables, over 2 miles of guns, knives, and accessories. Everything you need for the shooting, sports, and self-defense. Meet Crispy Avila at the EC Defense booth. Concealed handgun classes. The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Advance tickets, coupons, and more info at thenationsgunshow.com. That's thenationsgunshow.com.
All right, we're back. All right, we're back. Is Ron there? Ron, come on in. Ron Wilcox, Virginia Tea Party guy.
Ron's not here yet.
Oh, he's not here. Okay, well, so let's talk about this. As I don't know, Annette, have you found any information, heard about it on the news, but this whole thing with Kari Lake and the Jeff DeWitt, former Arizona treasurer and Trump advisor, resign as chair of the GOP in Arizona. I mean, isn't this just something? I mean, listen, Chris, you heard it. You heard the tape. Give us your insight on it. I mean, it was devastating to know that we have a GOP this crooked.
I think we've been in denial is the issue. I mean, we've always had a GOP that's that crooked. We've always had a DNC that's that crooked.
Yeah,
that's called SOP. That's the way that game is played, and that's why the established politics is such a corrupt system. I mean, the people that are actually in office represent none of the will of the people, because the people that should be running are excluded from the race from the beginning.
Yeah,
the primary people. I mean, people always talk about how can anybody vote for you name it. What are the Nancy Pelosi? What a disgrace. What a train wreck. Blah blah blah. Right?
Mhm.
Any of these really repugnant, just worthless politicians that are dumber than a box of rocks. My reply to that is, it's not that their constituents like these people. They're never given an option. You can't primary Adam Schiff. You can't primary any of these people that are establishment politicians. You'll never survive the process. The establishment will make sure that you don't challenge their order, and that's just as true in the DNC as it is in the RNC. We need to wake up to the degree of corruption and influence, and it ain't one vote, one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these people seem to be very serious, and they were talking. I was listening. Kari Lake, she was a smart one. She taped the whole interview, and it was devastating to hear that. I wanted to know who are the ones that are behind the scenes, are the corrupt ones. Who are they? He came out. His name. He's a former GOP chairman.
Oh, he needed not to resign. He needed to go to jail. I mean, people were talking about, he should quit his post. He should resign.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Resign?
Yeah, but they never do anything to any of these folks. I mean, Anthony Blinken's still in there, and he had 51 FBI sign off that Hunter Biden's laptop.
There are never any consequences. There's never any consequences.
Yeah, I think that's why we don't hear about more of this. I mean, if Kari Lake recorded this conversation and something going on behind the scenes that otherwise no one would have known about, how often does this happen? I think
and to a degree, she set him up because she knew that was coming. She knew that offer was coming, and she milked that to her political advantage. She definitely knew that she was recording that, and she proselytized during that entire thing. And she sounds like she came across like the most patriotic thing in the world, because she knew she was not. She was structured. She structured it.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I was watching Glenn Beck last night, and Glenn Beck was talking about the same thing. And it just bothers me where we headed in 2024. What types of deals have they probably made President Trump? And it's the GOP, it's the rhinos, it's the never Trumpers, and and you see the money that's given to Nikki Haley from Democrats and rhino Republicans.
And they're the ones voting
to take out Trump.
Really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what happens to America, and we see these things, and that gives me, makes me more angry. So okay, it's time to buy more ammo, more crossbows, and more bolts. Because
hey, who wants to go to Texas?
Yeah,
I'll go to Texas.
But should American, we're not really a democracy, we're a republic. When you pledge allegiance to the flag, you say you don't pledge allegiance to a democracy, you pledge allegiance to the republic. So the people in this country, should they be more aware, and should they be cautious about some of these things that are happening in our country?
I absolutely think that's the case. I think a lot of it's education. I think our schools right now, for the longest time, when teachers were asked they teach about the Constitution, they'd want to skip over the Second Amendment. Those teachers did not agree with the Second Amendment. And that's very interesting. And, taking away the Pledge of Allegiance in the schools, the moments of prayer, all of those things where they've taken those things away. And I think one of the things that they've been working on us, like Chris was talking about earlier, they've been working on us for so long that they're trying to like working on the males and the toxic males and all that stuff. They've been taking away. our patriotism, our love of our country. They don't want us to love our country. That's why they were
Think about
tearing
this.
down the statues.
Pride is good, proud is bad.
Right. And you should be, yes, and you should be very proud.
Yeah.
You think it's, I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Well, talking about, they promote the idea of pride in everything, pride festivals and pride in your sexuality, and especially if it's deviant and everything else. But if I say I'm proud to be an American, then that's verboten. Then all of a sudden I'm a supremacist. But
Right.
it's like the left talks about demography is destiny. We call it replacement theory, and we're white supremacists, and we're horrible people. The same exact concept that they promote is demography is destiny. So we've got a problem with phraseology, and we allow the left to cast the narrative, and we play catch up with the entire narrative, and we got to stop doing that.
We've got to get smarter, and we've got to get our public educated. There's right now, Victor Davis Hanson has this American citizenship and the decline of
watch that.
America.
The death of the citizen, and
that I think, and I'm going to continue to share that stuff everywhere and ask people to share it, educate themselves. For us in the gun shows, we've always given tables away to either party, because when you register people to vote, you're not registering Republicans or Democrats. Anybody can register. So we always give away registration tables so that people can register there at the show. And that's one of the things that people aren't educating themselves about. Their politicians, they'll go and they'll vote to figure out what they think is best. But you need to follow up when he gets in. What's he doing? How is he voting? Is he voting like he told you he was going to? Did he fulfill his promises? Don't just vote him back in again. So I think that's just crucial, is to get back on the education, get people proud of this country again, because we are a great nation. I mean, what we've done here in 250 years is amazing, and I think
it is exceptional. America, like it or not, is exceptional. There are countries that excel in every different facet of our culture. There are countries that have better healthcare or education or integration or infrastructure or defense, but America writ large excels at all of them better than any other planet on any other country in the history of the planet. We are exceptional. Our quality of life, our standard of living is higher, is better, is more desirable, and it's because we have the right to do what we're doing right here. And we have the right to be able to say that our Second Amendment has to do with putting bullets into tyrants. And there aren't many countries where you're allowed to say that kind of shit.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right, Chris. And we have a serious problem because listening to with Kari Lake and Jeff DeWitt talking about the cartel. That kind of like what does he mean, the cartel? I mean, is there a deep cartel? Is there, a major cartel? I mean, we know about Mexico, but is this cartel that we have in America? It makes you even wonder what's happening, what type of society we have, what type of, groups in government and seditious individuals that we have in our country that want to take over our country.
The enemy within.
The enemy within that are probably taking over. When I say they listen to the cartel, I think, well, the Mexican cartel, or they have their own little political cartel?
Well, when I made reference to that, what I'm talking about is I challenge anybody here or anybody that I challenge anybody to fly into Mexico and go to within 50 miles of the border and just start walking north. The four of us, let's go to Mexico. We'll walk north. None of us are going to cross that border without the sanction, the knowledge, and the payment to the drug what used to be drug cartels. That border, when Mayorkas says the border's secure, he ain't lying. That border has never been more secure than it is right now. It's just not secure by us.
Mm-hmm.
That border is more drum tight than it has ever been in the history of that border. Nobody crosses that border that the Latino cartels, the formerly drug cartels, don't know about and sanction and aren't paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a metric
true.
fuck ton of money for that.
Yeah. Well, we
The amount of
created
money
a
that's
business.
worth killing
Yeah.
for.
And the Mexican
Yeah.
We created a
government,
business with the cartels.
they're not
Go ahead, Annette. What?
inviting Americans to come and live for free. They'll put you
You broke up a little bit.
in jail.
Say
if you're
that
an
again.
American and you cross the border. If you're
Mm.
lucky, I was the Mexican government will throw you in jail if you're even lucky enough to
Oh, yeah.
get found out by the government, not by the cartel first.
Yeah. I did go to the border and visited somebody down there, and there's cartel that literally coyotes sitting on the other bank of the Rio Grande waiting for us to get distracted, our border patrol to get distracted, so then they can run a bunch through. As soon as they send a little group through with them, they have to do the whole processing thing, take them away, and do that.
We definitely we definitely have to do a show on the cartel and the border. You know, I was watching something on Tucker Carlson, and he did this show for, I guess it was 30-minute show, and they talked about even in Chicago at the airport, they have the immigrants in the airport, sleeping in the airports. Soon as they cross the border, you know, they are giving a plane ticket. FEMA is paying for plane tickets. Their family members are paying for plane tickets. So there's a reason why NGO now, Catholic Charities.
Right.
So
Catholic charities.
But then they actually bill the federal government. So
Mhm.
it's something that the NGO does, and then they send in the paperwork to the federal government and they pay them back. So we're still
Mhm.
paying for it.
Yeah, it's so, you know, something has to give. And, you know, we have to wake up. More Americans have to wake up and in the cities, suburbs, and speak out, not be afraid. You know, and listen, buy ammo, protect yourself. That's what it's all about. You're an American citizen. You should be able to protect yourself, your family, and your property. We've seen on the newspapers and media all about they had illegals come breaking people's families' houses, rape their wives, kill their sons.
Yeah.
All these things have happened across America, and we have a president that's allowing it, and the Congress, both Republican and Democratic, haven't done anything about it. So, you know, my thing, if you want a president, if you want someone who's going to stand up, better vote for President Trump.
Yeah. Well, imagine a country where that the actual citizens have less rights than the foreigners. That's insane. And that's where we're at right now. And it's been that way for a very long time. I had a vehicle hit 20 years ago, almost killed my family, totaled the vehicle. Guy rear-ended it, rolled it over. My daughter almost was decapitated. They wrote the guy a ticket. He was an illegal alien, wrote him a ticket, and he didn't have insurance. He didn't have a driver's license, wasn't a citizen, wrote him a ticket. Of course, he didn't show up for court. That was 20 years ago. And
Welcome to America.
Yeah, and I get hit with the money for the car. I'm out of my vehicle. You know, of course, the insurance company doesn't give you the full amount. And this has been going on forever. And even these hospitals, you know, the Yuma hospitals overflowing with
They're dying out.
Legal aliens, where they don't have enough staff to even care for them, and the locals, they're put on the back burner. And that's just not the way this is supposed to work. If you're the one paying for everything and providing everything, you're not the one that should be at the back of the line. And they keep on doing that. I know I've got a lady that cleans for me, and her sister has a couple of kids that have a disability. And it's a language disability. So they have to be in smaller classes and at the front and all these things. And they test them every 3 years. And then they put them, back in the program, and they usually notify her. They didn't this time. They took her daughter out of the class. She's failing. And that's how she found out about it. The school never notified her. They moved her out of class. She's failing. And now they're telling her that she has to wait until September to even be tested, because there's all these people that have a learning disability. It's illegal aliens that cannot speak English, and that is their language disability. So literally,
Welcome to America.
No, it's just crazy. It does
welcome.
have to end. The people do need to stop being afraid. They wanted us to be afraid. That's what BLM was about, and those riots, and it worked. We all got quiet, and we sat and we watched it, and I'm actually really proud that we're all just still sitting here and holding, and we're not overreacting, and we're once again going to the ballot box, and that's where we need to fix it. We need to try to fix it there, and boy, if we don't this year, we are in trouble. So everybody just needs to get involved, get registered, go vote. None of this, I don't vote or I don't vote in the primaries. Get to all of them, guys. Our primary is already going on in Virginia. And I want to say one last thing. I want people to vote early, because right now, and I believe it's supposed to be one day on the same day and done. And we absolutely can do it. And it can be paper ballots. We did it for years. It's fine. We don't need these machines. But right now the rules are, we've got all these bizarre things still in place. Why would you give your competition? Why would you give your opponent a 30-day? Go vote early, and there's a site called Early Action Vote, and there you can learn how to do that. But we definitely need to do it. We don't want to show up to vote the day of and find out, as 5 people I know showed up and found out they had already voted.
Wow.
In the votes,
Yeah, definitely. Well, Annette, Elliot, owner of the Nation's Gun Show, I'd like to thank you for coming on. You'll definitely always be a blessing. How we have you on. Now the next gun show is coming up next week, right?
Yep, February 2, 3, and 4, and I will get you a new commercial. I texted in the middle of the commercial so you can get a new one here, before we air next week.
Definitely.
And Annette, if you're not far from us, I don't know if Daryl told you, but we do a little thing out here in Marshall. We do a Patriot bonfire Saturday of every month. So it's going to be next week.
That's next week?
No, today's what? What is today? It's this Saturday. This coming up Saturday. Right on.
27th. Or
27th, right? And
okay.
If you can't make this one, come to the next one. It'll be the last Saturday of next month.
Okay, all right. Because I am
we're just in Marshall
this weekend. Okay, all right. Just in Marshall.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. God bless, and I'll see you on the 2nd or 3rd.
All right.
Chantilly. Take care. God bless.
Thanks,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow, guys, that was a great interview.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Rebecca, I am so awesome. And she makes it easy. She's very easy. Rebecca, I am so proud of you. You did great in the beginning.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
that.
Daryl.
Yeah. I guess Ron Wilcox, something happened to Ron, so I give him a call. But Ron Wilcox, he always gives a good insight on what's happening. And listen, Arizona is things are, people are waking up all over the country, and incidents like this, where you have the GOP chair makes these types of statements. It's like makes people think and aware, and people need to share this, what's happening, share this and share the show. And here's some of the things that we're talking about.
Right. And this is why you never trust those in government. You can support them, but never fully trust. That's not the relationship we're supposed to have with them. We're always supposed to remain skeptical. This is why.
Yeah, it was. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We're going to show our commercials, and we'll be right back. This is the On Fire Show.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables, over 2 miles of guns, knives, and accessories. Everything you need for the shooting, sports, and self-defense. Meet Crispy Avila at the EC Defense booth. Concealed handgun classes. The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Advanced tickets, coupons, and more info at thenationsgunshow.com. That's thenationsgunshow.com.
All right. All right, we're back. My phone is running out of charge, so it's almost that time anyway. It's 8 o'clock. We did a great show. Awesome show, Chris. Awesome show. Yeah, all right.
Good night.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please share this. Put it on Facebook. Put it on YouTube, Rumble, X if you can get it on X, the whole thing. But please share this, okay? I thank you all. God bless. And stay strong. Keep watching the On Fire Show. We are going to have more great guests on. And it's going to be exciting. And this is one of our great shows right now. All right. This is the On Fire Show. The host, Daryl McKell Brooks. Yes, Chris Cloud and Rebecca Boyd. Thank you all. God bless. Peace. And we're out of here.